Right. But hi, welcome to Sagudaka SGDC, the Spelkollektivet Game Development Conference, with your important host, Max. There I am. Okay, we're fixing tech. Welcome. This is the Spelkollektivet Game Developers Conference where indie devs show off the cool stuff they've been working on, just talking, vibing, everything like that. We're going to show our stuff, and we're going to start things today with Glenn. Round of applause with Glenn.
Hello. Okay. Hi, I'm Glenn. I'm working on Aquamundo, which is a water park tycoon game. I made this build for last week, and actually last week's was already a postponed version of the week before. But finally I'm presenting. So I'm gonna show some things I've worked on. First of all, I finally made it that the save file for the parks also has all the information about the guests currently in the park. So that was quite a lot of work. Also, this is just me painting over the models to make it seem like they have clothes on. But of course, that's not the final thing. So I'll just show. I also have facilities now, so they have to enter the park. And then if we go a bit further, they have to go into the changing rooms. Then they have to go to the locker to put away their stuff. These are all just kind of placeholder animations. And then they can join the park. There's also stalls, like hot dog and drinks. And then people can buy things. And then they drink. Looks a bit scuffed, but actually I like this scuffed look. They have now kind of a loop. Like they come into the park, they get into their swimsuit, they go to some attractions, they get some food, and then they go back out. So you're basically free to place all those things yourself. Like you can have as many entrance points, whatever as you want. And then now I also started adding some more economics to the game. And also I worked a lot on the UI windows, so it's easy now to close them and open them, and the customers will have some rating, and there will be some facts, and you can choose what items to sell, and then choose the price and stuff, and then you can, for example, choose if several stalls sell hot dogs, you can choose to synchronize the price across the park, stuff like that. Very expensive hot dog. And then you can see the economics, how much did it earn last month, and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. So also the UI windows for the attractions got an upgrade. You can now see which attractions are connected. For example, this pool has 4 slides that exit into it, so you can easily look at the different ones. Some facts. You can choose some options specific to this attraction, see some facts, and then it will also tell you how do the people like it. For example, for slides, these are mostly bullshit numbers for now, but you can see some stats, and then you can see how people like it. Right. Let's see. So what is fun now is you can follow players or NPCs. Whee. Yeah, that's about it. Some information, you can see which things you have visited. And I guess one more small thing is you can see facts here, or a status report. And for example, if I remove these paths, then you can see that it now tells you, hey, no path is connected. So you just have a path, and then when you add paths, it updates. So a lot of UI stuff. I think that's about it. UI windows, a big loop, like a playing loop for the guests, and the saving file. Yeah, that's it. Any questions? Yes.
You're kind of only getting into the economy of it, like likely right now, maybe at this stage, or your first steps into it. Do you have, with things like the hot dog stands and drinks places, do you have any plans to kind of implement ways of like getting people to buy more? I know in like old games like Theme Park, you could up the salt content and things to like people to have more fries or put more sugar or water down the drinks to increase your profits. Or have you thought about that at all?
I hadn't thought about going that in depth into the stuff, but there will be like advertisement campaigns that you can, so that people do go to stuff. But maybe I could try to make like some funny statistics or whatever that you can change so that people get more thirsty or whatever. Yeah, I'll think about that later. I'm just now we're at the basics of the economic system. So. Yes.
Have you thought of adding a first-person camera view when you follow the guest?
Yes, I'm a bit scared because this is like all low poly models, and it's supposed to be viewed from top down. I will try it. Also, I have some ideas for like the trailer that I'm gonna make for the game, like which will have like, I can spoil a little bit, but it will have like a guest that's basically making a TikTok video while they're going around in the park. So I will try stuff out. It's first person or third person. Yeah. Any? Yes.
Knowing how water parks usually function, are you planning on having like any health inspections, stuff like that, sanitary stuff?
Well, there will be like an infrastructure update that I will have that will make like you will have to make sure the like levels of the water are correct, and you have to like have pipes and pumps and stuff like that, and people will like get sick and will have to go to like the first aid or like the to get help. So, and then I do want to have like the water kind of get colored based on what happens. So I have lots of ideas for that.
Oh, there's James at the back.
Yes, James.
How many wish lists left until early access?
A lot. So if you if you want to wishlist this game, or if you think you know someone who might like this game, where's the mouse? Here's the QR codes for the Discord and for the Steam. But I think once I have like a trailer, I can try to start pushing the game a bit more. And right now I just have a Steam page with only static images, and maybe that's not that. Maybe people don't actually believe it's an actual game if there's just images. So yeah. Is that it? Okay. Thank you. Where's the mouse? Here it is. Okay.
All right. Next up is Gus, a new homie.
Hi everyone, I'm Gus Vogel from California. It's my first week at Spell. Thank you all for welcoming me. So I thought I would give you just a quick overview of some of the things that I've worked on since switching over to game dev. The first thing that I did switching over from general programming over to game dev was to remake a favorite Flash game from my childhood. So this was a 20-year-old Flash game from the Lego website. This is not my own game, but a remake, and that was kind of a warm-up to game dev and also to give back to the community a little bit. It's a bit of a turn-based tactics game. It's really good, really underrated. If you like tactics, give it a try. And I just did a lot of modernizations to make it full screen responsive and HD and everything, because everything was all compressed from the old days. And now what I'm working on here is my first, hopefully, commercial game. It's a turn-based fighter jets game, and I'll play a little gameplay clip. So what you do in this game is you drag to these arrows to path where your planes are going to go, and then you hit end turn, and then the opponent, in this case the AI, is going to try to outsmart you and plan their turn at the same time. There's some missiles, there's some shooting and things like that. And this game, it's a demo on itch right now. It has multiplayer. But I'm building out the single player campaign right now. I'm going to focus more on single player, trying to turn it into a product. The idea of this game was to give people who like airplanes, aircraft, a bit of a more calm, hence the term-based way to fly and enjoy planes, as opposed to most games are a flight simulator, right? Very hectic, takes a lot of dexterity and reactions. This lets them enjoy that in another way. Any questions? Yes. Well, I do hope to get the Steam first playtest up during my time here in the next few weeks. I don't know exactly the runway to the rest of it, but I'm hoping to gauge off of that whether this has legs or not. Yeah.
What's your favorite game?
Okay, my favorite game. I'm really a fan of tabletop games. That's where my heart is. So any kind of miniatures games. On the computer, I'll say Mountain Blade. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite tabletop game?
Sure. Lord of the Rings miniatures game.
How are you thinking of doing difficulty? Because I'm doing a similar tactics game, and I'm kind of interested in what your thoughts are around making the...
Sure. Since you're planning your turn at the same time as the opponent, you could let them cheat and peek at your moves, but I didn't want to do that. So right now there's just one difficulty level. It's going to be a sort of, I won't say roguelike campaign, but something where the enemy will scale in response to you. So they'll have more ships or tougher airplanes. I think what I also can do is have them try more potential moves and look for a heuristic that's a little bit better. And the weaker AI will try less potential moves.
Maybe some sort of prediction to see where you think you might be going in the future.
Hey everyone, this is a short tutorial on how to play Fighter Command.
Oh, and that's it for that video. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right, next up is Cheyenne.
So I am leaving on Saturday morning, so this is farewell. You can save your applause, no, I'm kidding. So I was thinking, okay, I'll go over what I did so far, this trip so far. So I went to Nordic Game Jam in May, or Nordic Game Conference. It was actually my first game conference I've ever been to. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I've been to like tech conferences, but this was quite fun. And I also was volunteering there, so I was kind of having people do surveys about how well everything was going with the conference and if people were enjoying it. Played a lot of fun games, talked to some cool people. Overall, it was a good experience. I've also been doing a lot of things outside. I've been doing like a lot of hiking around the forests around here, as well as exploring the area around Spell and Vekwa. I had the summer ticket for the bus, so I've been just roaming around and seeing what's out there, which has been nice. And also went to the Vekwa arcade, which is a lot of fun, so highly recommend it. Also, it's our game jam! Yay! I worked on Duck and Demon Beach Party. I got to try doing pixel art for the second time for a game jam, and that was a lot of fun. My favorite thing was actually this little like save icon that was the like a Game Boy cartridge. That was my favorite thing I made for that game jam. I'm trying to think of like ways I can incorporate it to other things, like oh yeah, maybe like a profile picture, but I had a lot of fun with this game. And the one thing that I think I would have changed was maybe doing a bit more animation, but I also was just so tired and I didn't feel like doing too much animation right at that time. I also went to Visby, went down to Gotland in Sweden. This was a very fun trip, also very exhausting because we were doing a ton of walking and exploring. But also this trip I was meeting a friend that offered to tour me around Visby and showed me some areas. And this person is actually the artist that co-created the graphic novel I'm basing my game off of. So she was giving insider scoop of like where certain areas of the novel were referenced, like this one. I saw one of the towers and I was like, hey, is this maybe from this one page in the novel? And she's like, yes, it is. So I've been getting lots of inspiration, and I think that is one of the next assets I'll be making for my game is all of the wall prefab kits for this entire like walled city. So I have my work cut out for me. And that's what I talk about next is I've been working on my game as not a whole lot of progress, but what I have made is the model for like the cathedral that will be the end goal for the demo, where like if you get all the secrets, or you find all the secrets, you get to unlock this cathedral and you get to go inside it and like see some artwork. I also have been assembling some buildings, refine some of the gameplay a little bit and mechanics, and I will see y'all soon. But I also have I did kind of record a little bit of a test song, a melody for my game. I need to re-record it and refine it, but let's see. Maybe But yes, that's pretty much what I have. Any questions? Yes.
Did you find your favorite discipline in game design then?
No. I am more indecisive than ever. Like I love 3D and everything, but I've been kind of getting a bit bored with it and also just like a bit burned out. So I've been trying some 2D and pixel art. I'm kind of excited to try doing 2D art because that's what I was trained and disciplined in when I first was doing digital art. And then I decided like, oh yeah, let's do 3D and then just forget 2D for like 5 years. So it's kind of refreshing to come back to it. So, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Any more questions? No? Okay.
All right. Next up is Johanna. So you guys.
Hello. I didn't prepare everything in advance. Okay, and here. Hello, I'm Johanna, and I work on Frog-like. It's out in early access on Steam if you want to check it out. And yeah, last time I presented, I talked about the next update, which is gonna be a book with a collection of all the chapters you can play in Frogline. And yeah, this is just the same as last time. It's a list of all the chapters and with info about the chapters that you have played, and it's gonna show more info than you have been able to see before. Yeah, and these are just the sketches that I showed last time as a reminder. I don't know what that was. So this was my mock-up, and now I've gotten further at implementing in the game. So this is how it, no, this is more mock-up, also more mock-up. This is how the menu looked before, and this is my mock-up of a new menu. And this is how far I got last time. So this is how it was looking last time I showed it in the game. And now I'm gonna show how it looks now. it's not super exciting, it's not that much, and it's not done. And but it's something. Okay, so yeah, I didn't implement anything with the new menu yet, but so now this is not working. It's not working in that font apparently, so let's go to the pixel font. So it's still, I guess this is how it looks when you haven't played any chapters yet. It's just question marks. So I will just go and start one chapter and quit this chapter. And now we have first hops showing up in the book. So there's question marks if you haven't played it, because you haven't discovered anything about it yet. But if you have played it, you can see the name of it in the book, and you can click it and get more information. And I haven't finished this template yet, but you're gonna be able to see information of if any of the frogs that you can play as completed it, and yeah, things to find, and if you found them, and what collectibles and power-ups are in the chapter. Then there's also going to be a list of all the different kinds of bugs that are in the chapter. And if the chapter is part of a storyline, and you have played the storyline, you're gonna be able to see all the chapters that's part of that storyline. And then yeah, you can go back to the table of contents, and yeah, I haven't implemented that this is hidden yet, so you can, right now it's not working quite as expected, but yeah, it's some progress. And there will also be a glossary at the end that just explains some of the different elements of the page, so you get some more information that haven't been told before, sort of, just to make things a little bit clearer about what you're seeing. So yeah, that's the progress update on the next update. And where is the presentation? Here. And then I'm leaving tomorrow to go to the Philippines for my work. So yeah, I will see you in October, whoever is still here. And yeah, this is what I do for work. I'm a sound technician. I run around with a boom pole and a mixer on my belly, and I have a little team like this with a reporter and a photographer, and we record reality on the beaches in the Philippines. It's nice. It looks like this. I live in a little village. I'm going to the same place I've been 2 times before this time. So yeah, I live in a little cabin like this. I hope I don't get one of the containers in the back. And then I can work on Frog-like as well, and sit inside in my air-conditioned hut, which is very nice. Yeah, and then I go with boats to work every day, and then we do recording by the water, in the rain, whatever weather we are facing. It's a lot of rain, and it's a lot of sun, and a lot of sand. That's not weather, but anyway. And there are frogs, which is nice. So that's the good part about it raining a lot. Then the frogs come out in the grass, and that makes me happy. Yeah, any questions? Yeah.
What are you thinking of doing on the game next?
Well, so I'm still working on this chapter collection book, and so next is to display all the information that I want on those spreads, and also to hide the information when you haven't played that chapter before. So that's the next update, and then I hope before I need to work on the next update again, I hope to get back to updating the graphics for the game, because that's our next really big update that I wish would be done. So yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, great stuff. Next up is Nanda.
Hello. See. Right, I'm Nanda. I'm making Abyss of Kings, and I'm still working on the level editor. Last time I showed a lot of terrain features, and now I did some final touches on the terrain, which is basically that I actually have properly smooth normals now that actually get updated on the fly, and somehow it takes less performance than the simpler normal version calculation did, but I don't quite understand all the code, so yeah, that works. Now I've been working on an arena tool to basically create the encounters on the chessboards. So you can define the arena bounds like this that will like trap you in the arena once the fight starts. And you can like draw over them to change them, which I was quite happy with. I don't know if I show anything else off here. Oh yeah, and you can delete them, of course. Then you can change like the triggers for the arenas. So it's like once you run into the trigger, the combat starts, and sometimes I want to like place that differently to surprise the player, or wait until you're like further into the arena, so you can like orient yourself, and that works the same way as the arenas themselves. Oh, whoops. Yeah. And then once you have that set up, you can basically like add different waves of enemies and define their qualities. Right now I have that all in a big list, but one slight touch up I want to do is that you can actually like just place them on the board with the mouse, so you don't have to like place all of them in one point and like drag them around and stuff. And they're like numbered, so you can see in which order they spawn, because it has like the effect of them like dropping down, and yeah. This is a short little test that I made with the arena tool. So you get trapped in the arena and you have to kill all the enemies. And yeah, I'll just let it play. And then you can leave again. Yeah, the remaining features for the level editor I'm still working on. I want like a prefab brush to like place objects that snap to the voxel grid, or like get fixed along the terrain floor. I need to figure out some workflow with splines, because I want some water and rivers and like other stuff like prefabs along a spline. Yeah, and I need to figure out scene transitions, because I'm not quite sure how I want to handle that yet. And then hopefully I can actually like prototype an area and see how everything works together. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions? Yes?
With the arena bounds for when you get into combat with chess, do you plan that to be a kind of a literal kind of like, you know, like one of those colorful barriers that prevent you from leaving, or do you picture it being like a physical kind of like a railing or something that kind of surrounds the arena? What do you have in mind?
It's actually gonna look pretty close to what you can see here. I might like change like how the shader works. It's a little weird on this GIF, but basically it's like as you approach, there's like this dithered. Oh, I can't. Okay, I have to wait for the GIF. as you approach the edge of the arena, there's like this like magical barrier kind of, and when you're further in, you don't see it, so it doesn't distract you. That was kind of the plan, but I still want to see how that looks in like with a proper environment. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, great stuff, Nanda. Next up, it's me. Yeah, this is what I've done over the past 3 weeks or so. I figured I'd show it off, but there's not that much to talk about because it's just, I'm here to make some icons. I've done some icons. Let's look at some icons. These will be 2 icons for my, I guess, job application here. Let's pretend it's a job. Then I did these 2 before the last SGDC, and everything else is new. So yeah, wow, you can ooh and ah as you see fit. Let's just hit the forward button a bunch. Not that much to say about them. We've got some weapons. A lot of weapons. How's everyone going? Enjoying the show so far? Yeah, you know, I've enjoyed this work. It's nice having a schedule and a very set task list. It's very peaceful, and it means I'm really able to enjoy the environment around Spell this time. I think last time I hid in the basement a lot and just didn't emerge much, but this time I'm just having a chill summer vacation, and I think that's neat. Yeah, there's heaps more to go. There's a guy, there's a boot. Outlaw Kingdom's got it all. Wishlisted on Steam. This one got rejected. You won't see that one in game. Got cheese. Got more cheese. Got a man with cheese. Got a man getting his jaw knocked out. Then a redone version of that same one. These ones have silhouettes, which we're not supposed to do anymore. I got in trouble for this. But they're made now, so until we get to all the other ones, they're staying in. I did this. I did this. I did this. I did these. Yeah, just a bunch of icons. Angry orcs and ogres and not angry rabbit. I think we're near the end. I did these ones today. That's it. That's all I have. Yeah, any questions? Yes?
I noticed you drew a lot of hands. Are you good with hands? Is it something you purposefully draw a lot in icons?
Well, it's hard to avoid drawing hands because a lot of people have hands. And the nature of this game is that there's a lot of close-ups of weapons, which means a lot of close-ups of hands. And really annoyingly, Casper said that all the weapons have to have a hand showing it. He doesn't want floating weapons. He wants there to be the implied that it's in action. So I can't cheat and not draw hands. But, you know, that seemed fine enough, at least for the, you know, cartoony art style we have. Yes, Cheyenne?
What's your favorite icon to paint so far?
My favorite icon is definitely the cheese guy. Yeah, this guy. I love that. Casper doesn't want me to have the green lines. I think they're good. No. Yeah, any other questions? Yes.
What's your biggest inspiration for the art style?
My biggest inspiration for the art style is the style guide that the guy before me wrote. Yeah, Casper had a really talented 3D artist mostly called Zava, who also did some pretty good 2D art and set a really nice clear style guide for me to go off. And then I also get to benefit from seeing how Danny interpreted that same style guide. So I have 2 different artists who've already worked on this project, and they've established the boundaries that I need to work within, which is, again, like I've pretty much only ever worked on solo art projects, so it's really nice having that communal art sense and, yeah, answers to questions. Like, yes, Johanna?
How many have you drawn now, and how many is there?
This slide shows about 70 or so if you don't count the anime girl, we're about 69. How many left? I don't know. I don't want to look ahead too far. I've just gone like one spreadsheet at a time, so right now I'm doing traits, and there's a few dozen more traits to go, and then I don't know what's next, and Casper isn't telling me. But I'll do as many as I can before I have to go back. All right, no more questions by the looks of it? Yeah, I'm hosting. I need to find out who's next. Just hold on a moment.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay, there's another question.
Are you worried now with this series of artists that you will be replaced to the 4th one?
No, that's fine. Like, I'm not getting paid that much. I'm getting a rev share at the end, and my plane tickets have already been paid for. Like, if I'm replaced, that's fine. I've got other projects to work on. Yeah, next up is Bruno with Postal Games.
Hello, everybody. Let's see. Okay, I'm Bruno. I've been here like for a week or so. I come from Argentina, and with Nicole, that's with me, we've been doing what we call Postal Games. It's an itinerant game jam based on handwritten letters. Maybe a lot of people here heard of this like 10 or 12 times. Sorry. So we've been through all Europe since May to now. We gave a talk at Amaze. We were in Italy, in Barcelona, in Warsaw, in Poland, in London, and many other places, exchanging with game developers there. Handwritten letters by them, written by them, with postcards of the places they are from, and doing this system that I will explain next to that. Here's Nicole with a puppet. So, and this is how to Postal Games. Whoa. Okay. So, what is Postal Game about? This is a transition. Yes, this I saw. We've been traveling since May. We're going to leave in not so much in August, late August. So how is Postal Games happening every time we do it? We get in a place, we call the community there, and every dev that wants to participate has to write a letter, a small letter. We usually encourage that letter to be very thought, to be personal, not really necessarily emotional, but funny, something that people put effort on, because the person that will open the letter, we expect something interesting and something that has some heart and love. So we encourage that. They write a postcard and a letter. We get it closed in an envelope and we seal it with wax in a very dangerous and non widely accepted way in public spaces, because it sometimes have some smoke coming out of it, and it's weird to see people firing things in the street and letters. But well, we seal it for confidential experience, and we receive them and we save them. Then the person that gives the letter and that writes the letter and seal it gets to open one letter that was written the same way by a game developer before. And they have to read that letter, take a picture or so, because we take it with us, keep the postcard. That's usually a personal contact and a personal like dedicatory. And with that letter, they have to go to their home or whatever, or Spelkollektivet, and use it as a theme to make a game. Not specific. It shouldn't have like a theme. The letter won't be like your theme is bubbles. It will be like using that as an inspiration, or as using the letter as inspiration, or doing a game like recreating what you've read, answering, giving some message to that person, and we expect people to make it in like 40 hours or so, like a weekend, or they can take a little more, but we expect them to make it small games. And they would upload those games to itch.io. There's some uploaded. I have to set up them in the itch.io page, but it's postalgames.itch.io, and we have a really simple WordPress page called postalgames.info if you want to know more. And the Discord server is still a work in progress. It has proven to be the most difficult part. Not traveling or finding communities. The Discord is like super hard to put on. And we call the anonymous dev you find in the way and you connect with, so to keep in touch with the Devonimus and spread the love. after all this trouble, like in September or October, we are going to host the Argentinian Indie Game Festival for the second year. It's something we organized with Nico back in Argentina, and we will showcase the games with the letters that we've selected. Those letters won't be anywhere else. Won't be online. Won't be anywhere that's digital. So we're kind of betting on the analog and the physical fragile paper. So thanks a lot. Thanks for joining. And I've booked this same room in Spell the Friday the 8th. Friday, the next Friday, I think it is. So if you want to do that, you want to join Postal Games, you can. If you're going to leave before, let me know. We can do it in a really shady way, like in a corner, like doing this with a lighter, and people will have weird looks at us. So, well, that's me. Any questions? Yes.
Have you ever accidentally failed to seal a letter?
If I no, it was always on purpose, and none of them had broken so far. On purpose. Other question? Someone? Anyone will? Does anyone want to participate so far? Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes.
What's your favorite game?
My favorite game.
Either to play more recently or overall.
I think it's Mountain Blade, actually.
Nice.
I did not steal it. It's really my postal game. My favorite game. My postal game is really. Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm glad that wasn't about the series of games called Postal. Next up is Mauricio.
Hello. I'll get it. Thank you. Who done it? And also goodbye for now. This is what we've been working on. Yeah, so for those who don't know us, hi, I'm Mauricio. This is Nate. We're working on Whodunit, and it's an investigation visual novel about figuring out who you hooked up with. It's made in Ren'Py. We started working on it the day we arrived at Spell back in October, and now in July we're mostly done with the first chapter. We haven't been working on it consistently, where we're doing other things in the middle, but yeah, we're almost done. There's a quick look-see.
One of the big things I've been doing lately is visual stuff, just like little special cutscene sequence bits like this, because they need unique art and stuff, and it's fun to quickly make these things, because it's just what I like doing. I've also been doing lots of sprites. There's also a new character in the bottom left there, the little turtle guy, and they're actually coming to life now. It's cool, and we're gonna have to put these in soon.
Oh yeah, so I was working on making a chat for the game, so like a little chat view for Howie when he's texting with people. So I added in all the animations, like profile icons, and just trying to make the world feel a bit more alive. So yeah, that one was very fun. Oh, whoa. Also for pitch, I added in like if you input something that is like not valid, it tells you why it's not valid. You could see there, like, when you put in something, it was like, no, this doesn't make sense because of this. So it's kind of to guide the player a little bit more so that they know that, no, it's not that the combination doesn't exist. It's like, we thought about that and it doesn't make sense. So you can't put that there. But yeah. And also for pitch, I made this screen that's like a consensus has been reached. And then you get the recap. And then you can finalize the whole section. So that will play once you're done answering all the questions that are there. And it was very fun to make. Just a little congrats for the player for getting to it. It's a cool moment. And also, for pitch, I made one of our characters have his own little PowerPoint sequence. Because, yeah, I like that. And that was actually made in Google Slides. So yeah,
And we made a
We made a
Patreon.
Patreon, yay! So if anyone is interested, but don't worry about it.
We're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, you can playtest chapter 1 before we go. So if you are interested, please let us know. We would love to let folks playtest. Be aware this is a visual novel and also like a mystery thing. An average playtime is 3 hours. You don't have to play all of it. But yeah, just letting people know.
It keeps getting longer every time it does.
Also, lastly, this is how we arrived. Like, this is how Whodunit looked when we arrived back in May as a little retrospective. This is what the game looked like. It was very different. Characters have very different designs.
So crunchy.
The move screen looks crazy.
Literally, I just think it looks so
the
ugly.
characters.
It looks so ugly.
So that's what it looked like when we got here.
It felt a lot like we didn't like because we got so busy during these 3 months. It was like I was like, oh, it's like we barely got enough done, and we barely did much. And then I saw this, and I was like,
yeah, it's been through a big change. Because actually, go to the next one.
Oh, there's
Because
more.
I made a little comparison.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, of just like how it looks now. You know, it has backgrounds and more polish and an actual. Well, that screen is so fucked, but it's like basically now there's better characters. There's more stuff going on, etc.
Still have some backgrounds to do.
Yeah, I also added like little visual scenes, etc. But yeah, the game's changed a lot. Thank you guys for. I don't know. I saw that video and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." You guys thought it was cool, and it looked really weird. But thank you for following along with us, and we will see you soon.
Probably November.
Yeah, you'll be here.
Well, I'll be here in November, definitely.
Yeah, maybe me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, questions.
What was the most important thing you took back from the playtesting? The feedback?
Mostly it's reacting to I guess it's paying attention to how people react to the characters, because it's like I think the details that we nudge the most are like how a character gets introduced, and then like what idea do people get about it, and if they seem to be going in a direction, it's like that's not going to be what the game's about. I'm like, I don't want it to go there, because then it's like setting up the wrong thing, or like it's not quite like it's not going to be as satisfying for the player. But
I think that even like in our past playtests, that the biggest thing has also been like finding out what content is important and then what is not important, like cutting it down a little bit. Like we've cut down a lot on the fluff of the game, and I think it's much better for it.
For people who weren't here in October, the first iteration of this game was very fluffy on purpose. And then we started to veer a little bit more towards the mystery angle. And it was like, well, we can't have fluff anymore because that's just distracting, and just downloads way too much information to people's brains.
Yeah.
So we ended up reshuffling a lot of things, and it was a painful process, but a necessary one. Brian?
Has there been any subconscious bias of transferring the fluff from the writing into the fluff on the character? Are they more fluffy now?
I think actually they were fluffier before.
Correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah, they used to be more fluffy before, but now we shaped them all.
I don't have any comment on the fluffiness. It's just whim.
Yeah, it'll be a biased opinion. Anyone else?
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. See you.
All right, fantastic stuff. Next up is Hugo. Round of applause for Hugo.
All right, let's set this up. Okay. All right. And left and right mouse button strikes again. All right. Yeah. I got like a full screen. I'll do it like this. So, intro and more. There was a similar presentation some time ago. Again, I do transitions, just like Bruno. Hi, for those who haven't met me, I am Hugo. I'm from Czechia, mostly known for the things seen here on the left, not on the right. The right is mostly Japanese stuff. I like these things, games, hikes, photography, baking, drawing, your basic Instagram person stuff, Last time I was in Spell, it was in 2023 in September. And some people have met me here back then. Things have changed, you will see. Anyway, on the right are of course the games that I like because I figured that I would compress as much information into one little slide. So let's keep going. For the reminder, who wasn't here back in September when I had a very similar presentation, not the same one. I only stole most of this for this one. Did I make anything? As games. Oh yeah, I made arcade game clones. These completely original games that totally don't look anything that was released in 72, 78, and 80. Yeah, no. Bandai Namco, eat your heart out. Anyway, after that, after these three, I made another one, which was a little bit more recognizable, but still completely original. One on the right, a little not Dig Dug. Incidentally, that one is also available on itch.io, although I neglected to put links here because I sort of put this up in a sort of speeding train sort of way. So, did I make anything else than games? Since I only mentioned games. Oh yeah, I did. Not just games. No. I made a sprite editor. Anybody been insane enough to make that? Yeah, I don't know if I recommend it, but I've made it at this point, so I've started making it back in early 2021, and over the 4 years it has sort of accumulated. Some might call it bloat, but I like to call it features. Anyway, it can do all sorts of things. It can not just do your basic drawing and editing, moving pixels around and deleting that sort of stuff. It can also do search and replace of colors. It also serves as a sort of an animation suite. So you can do the similar things that a sprite does, where you can update, have like a file open, an animation open, and you change one frame, and as you have the frame playing in the other window, which incidentally that's this whole thing. As you have it playing in that window, you can change the frames one by one without stopping the animation, change the speed. It's pretty nifty. I don't know if I would ever convince any regular person to use it, but it's been fair enough for me. So what am I doing now? Well, this. I'm gonna have to go really fast because I don't have much time. So it's a dynamic sort of beat 'em up. For those of you who don't know, beat 'em up is like that's the one game where you go left to right beating up people. With this one, I tried to go for a more you do more than just beat up people. You have you have all sorts of interesting things, not just fighting. You can learn moves and get tips from NPCs. You can eat your enemies to heal or learn new attack moves, because why else would you interact with them in a beat 'em up? Listen, I try to put in dialogue systems, but I have a feeling that the people who typically play beat 'em ups are not into talking. So I figure I might as well just steer into something more aggressive, and I'll just put other stuff in there in case other people want that. Oh yeah, and you can screw with physics objects, which isn't on here and is by far the most janky one because physics do be like that. The story for it is complicated. It involves anthropomorphic animals in a jungle. I wouldn't go even a lot further because we don't have enough time. The style is pixel art, as you can see, synth music and digitized sounds. So far they've been meshing, but I'll see just how much that doesn't work. And yeah, as you can see, protagonist is a bipedal crocodilian, because who else would I have in there? So yeah, that's more or less everything I got here. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the best or the worst thing about building your own engine?
Oh boy, the collision detection is certainly fun. Having just sort of rigid bodies as you do in Godot or Unity, where you can just say, I just want the thing and I want them to collide in this way. Just select dialog boxes and it's done. Yeah, it takes a lot more time when you're just doing it in C and SDL2, which I am. Yeah.
but it's doable. Yeah.
Are you using your own sprite editor for your sprite work?
Oh yeah. These things that you see here, the guy on the left, that's actually a template for a hostile enemy.
Oh, cool.
And those trees are for the game as well, as is the box. Any other questions? Okay.
Alright, I haven't been timing anyone all night, but it turns out I don't need to because they're regulating themselves. Next up is art for our last public showcase of the evening.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Art. I usually do these weekly little updates for my game, but guess what? This one's just going to be really quick because I haven't really made too much more, except now this is kind of spoiling it. But Intentional Bugs now has a public Steam page. Crazy. I wanted to show this off, not because it's impressive, because it's not, but to convince people who are thinking, who know they want to make a commercial product, know they want to put on Steam, but they're like, oh, I can't make a Steam page yet. Steam will greenlit your allow you to put very minimal stuff. This has not even really a paragraph, and it's the most vague description of what this could be because I didn't want to make any promises about stuff. And this these screenshots are highly doctored in Photoshop, so these are not like finalized things. And it got approved in like 3 days. So if you're sitting on it thinking, I can't make a Steam page, I'm not ready yet, none of these are finalized even sort of, but it doesn't matter. Make a Steam page. I did, and it's working out great. But that's all that I have for this week. Next week, I will actually have work on the game. But that's it.
Oh, yep. Questions?
Yes.
Are you already addicted to looking at wishlist stats?
No, because it just popped up like, I literally got the email from Steam like maybe 4 or 5 hours ago, so I haven't even looked at the thing. Maybe tomorrow. If you want a wish list, that'd be cool.
Mine was supposed to be public, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we have a surprise, special, extra public presentation. Give it up for Andy.
You don't have to. That's the whole point. Oh, what?
Hey guys. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one quick. I'm a returning homie. Last time I came here, I attempted to make a role-playing game and realized I was a little bit in over my depth. And I went away and learned a little bit more about writing role-playing games. And a couple of years later, I am back to build my own CRPG game. A little bit about me first. I am from Liverpool in the northwest of England, and I have been developing games since a very young age, about 7 or 8 years old. My favorite thing to do is games modding, and through games modding I kind of learned to do art, programming, and it kind of led me on to go to university, study game development, and I haven't been able to choose what to stick with since, although I found out I'm really bad at making music, so I guess I avoid that. I guess I could show a little bit about the kind of artwork I like making. So I started off my game journey as a illustrator and a concept artist. And I love doing like general fantasy paintings, and as you can see, all this is quite messy, but in my downtime I also love cartoons, and I thought for this time for my game I would combine my love for cartoons and fantasy together, and I would make a cartoon CRPG. And my hope is to make a very goofy, silly take on games a little bit like Divinity, Original Sin, Baldur's Gate, so top-down tactical strategy games. And my ideas are to make a roll table where it's a bit goofy, there's a lot more things that can go wrong. You're playing a bunch of these little kobold characters, and they're a bit incompetent. So every time you attack, you're likely to fumble or make some kind of mistake. There's a little snippet of some of the code I've got working at the moment. So I've built my user interface and spent quite a lot of time building all my inventory. If this is going to load. Well, we'll play it out. So basically at the moment, you've just got a slot inventory and you can go through the turns. So a character can start combat, they go through turns, they have their own skills, and you can just press a skill and attack. So it's in very bare bones at the moment. I'm hoping to spend the next couple of months on combat. And I am planning on coming back over next year, hopefully, to spend more time at the house working on the content of the game. So it's a long one for me. I've never worked on a project on my own for more than 6 months before. So it's going to be fun. Are there any questions? Yeah, Yada?
How will you avoid it that feels frustrating when they fumble so much?
I'm hoping to make a lot of silly animations and effects, but also the fumbles are so often and the enemies will fumble so much that I'm hoping that you'll be so used to it that it's a bit goofy, and the frequency of the fumbles really. They're also not like most of them aren't going to penalize you a lot. They're just going to be subtly bad. Like you'll do a little bit worse or a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I understood correctly, you plan to do this solo?
Yes.
Okay. Even the music?
Except for the music. I also thought maybe at some point I can get some writers in, because I have actually got some experience with narratology, but there are much better writers than me. I've avoided bringing too many people on before because I've worked on team projects and they've all gone a bit south. Mostly because life gets in the way. And this game I want to spend at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years on. So I can't really expect somebody to work with me for that long without money.
And so
Yeah.
another question. What in this game makes it possible to do it in less than 100 years ago? Like, it's a CRPG. So
Yeah.
how do you, like, what will you do to make it possible to do it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm a bit crazy with scope, but I have actually managed to do quite a lot. At the moment, I've written a lot of the combat system. I'm just doing some dummy data for it. So combat is well underway. Luckily, it's not my first rodeo trying to do the RPGs, so it's like probably my third attempt. The other 2 attempts, I was a lot worse at, making the framework of the RPG very modular. So this time I've done a very good job of being able to write the systems in a way that you can plug and play them. So I've coded a vendor system, an inventory system, a combat system, all separately. And you could actually pull one of them out and swap them out, and the whole game still works together. And a lot of that's working already, so I'm currently just doing combat. Once in a few months after combat, I'm hoping to be able to move to design and spend maybe about 8 months just doing content. So I don't know if 8 months will be enough for me to do that, but I'm going to try.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Yana?
Will there be a playtesting tomorrow?
No, I will be games jamming. There will be playtesting of the Games Jam game tomorrow.
Cool.
Me and Gustav are working on a little space game for the Loop theme jam.
Hell yeah.
Cool. All good?
All right.
All right, great stuff. No more surprise presentations, although we do have secret ones that you people on the internet won't get to see. Anything could happen. Frankly, I'd want to be here if I was you, so you should email jamesnewnorth@hotmail.com. See what happens. All right, bye everyone. Hopefully this stops streaming.